In this video, we are going to search for trade publications and editorials related to a profession and topic of your choosing. So let's just quickly define what trade journals or trade publications are. And as seen on the screen, trade journals are written by professionals in the field or staff writers, and then are reviewed by an editor for style, content, and applicability to the field. This review is not the same as the peer review process that scholarly journals go through. And these publications are different than scholarly articles because they report on updates and news and discussions in a field and not necessarily original research. So for example, something like Harvard Business Review talking about a polarized workforce, or Advertising Age discussing different successes in marketing campaigns, or something like American Libraries magazine for librarians. So it may seem really simple, but the easiest thing to do is to do a search for your profession and then the words trade publications. And you'll get a listing depending on your profession and how many different publications are available. It might be a short list. In this case, we have American Libraries magazine for librarians. And there's a little description that tells me that they consider themselves the voice of the profession and the flagship magazine of the American Library Association. So they are directly related to a professional association. And then there is also Library Journal. Their description here doesn't really give me a lot of information about them, but I can go onto their page to see more. So on their homepage, I can see the different columns that they have on their website and even in their magazine. And then some articles give me a sense of what they talk about here. I can also scroll down to the bottom and do the classic searching their About Us page. And this tells me that they are 140 years old and that their mission is to help inform learning, inspire kids to read, spark an inquisitive impulse and a lifelong love of learning, and building communities' capacity to thrive and spurring economic development. So that is their mission statement. But I can take that a step further and actually do a search for Library Journal on a search engine. And their website is going to come up, but I can also see what Wikipedia says about them, that Library Journal is an American trade publication for librarians, and it was founded in 1876 by Melville Dewey, which, if you know anything about libraries, he is a major person, a major figure in the field. And it reports news about the library world, emphasizing public libraries. And if I scroll down, I really just want to look for negative articles or negative information to give me a sense of whether or not this is a reliable or trustworthy source. And then scroll through and look for more information. So it's just about getting outside of the site to see a little bit more about what they do. And then once I've selected my trade publication, I need to find an editorial. So remember, op-eds are persuasive, concise, and engaging pieces designed to influence public opinion or contribute to an ongoing discussion within a professional field. So the first thing I can do is look on their homepage for an opinion section. I don't see one right here, but if I go into and more, they do have an opinion section. And all of them have editorial at the end, which is helpful. They're tagged so I can tell that. And I can already tell that since the topic I want to talk about is censorship, this one right here from February 3rd is probably going to be one that I want to look at. But just to show you the other way that you can find information is finding their search button. And I can type in censorship. And from the search results, I can try to locate an article. You may want to limit to the last few years. So if there is a date range filter, you can click that. I'm clicking the last 24 months. And then I can scroll through the results and look for editorials. In this case, the one that I wanted about truth, not censorship doesn't show up on the first page, but it is on the second. So don't get discouraged if you don't find something on that first page. Keep going. And here is that editorial I saw before. So now I can review this editorial for the different genre conventions of editorials and opinion pieces. And this is especially important if your article does not label itself as an opinion piece or an editorial. So the first thing I want to look for is a clear and compelling argument, which I can see right here in her second paragraph. This article is about the recent changes at Facebook and Meta to change their fact-checking policies. So she says, without independent fact-checking, the likelihood that Meta's algorithms will amplify sensational and dangerous misinformation is all but certain. So that is a definitely clear perspective and argument. And in this article, I'm seeing concise and persuasive language. And there's a strong hook at the top to grab the reader that libraries can help with misinformation resilience. Also, through the article, there is evidence. So she speaks to the director of the International Fact-Checking Network and pulls information from the Pew Research Center about people's perspectives on misinformation online. And then she ends with a takeaway for readers in this really powerful quote. And in some articles, it might be more of a call to action for how people can take action in regards to the topic. But she ends with a quote that says, "Fact checkers strongly support freedom of expression. The freedom to say why something is not true is also free speech." So while this is a short editorial, it does pack in all of the genre conventions that I would need to be considered an editorial. Another option could be to do a search for your profession and professional associations, and then find what publications they put forward for their professionals in the field. So if I did teacher professional associations, I can see the National Education Association come up, and on their page, they have NEA Today, and then that links to NEA Today magazine. And so this page has links to a lot of different articles and past issues of their magazine. So another way to get to some of these publications is by going through the professional organizations that publish them. And to quickly wrap up, you can search for your profession plus trade publications or professional associations on any search engine of your choice. You can select a reliable trade publication, and you can check reliability by doing a web search for the name of the publication and then looking for any negative stories. Then look on the homepage of the publication for an opinion or editorial section. Or you can always use their search function to find articles on your specific topic. And then once you have articles, you want to look for the key genre characteristics of editorials in the articles that you select. And if you have any questions, please reach out to your class librarian. And you can always use the Ask a Librarian chat at library.pace.edu.